Hey kids, welcome to Fun Lab. I'm Carly.
And I'm Zach. And this week we have an amazing show lined up for you with all kinds of fun experiments and even a special guest right here in the lab.
That's right, Zach. This is Professor John Beggs with the Physics Department at Indiana University.
Hi,
How
Professor.
you doing?
Hi. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah. So, Professor, I know you got a lot of great experiments lined up for us today. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do here at Indiana?
Sure. Well, as a professor, I teach classes, and so we learn physics. But after teaching class, I have a lab. And in the lab, we have about 10 graduate students, and we do experiments on brains.
Oh.
Yeah, and we look at the electrical signals that brain cells send to one another to communicate.
Cool.
Very cool.
Very cool. All right, so what's our first experiment then?
Yeah, what do you got for us?
The first experiment is called terminal velocity. Have you ever heard of terminal velocity?
Oh, yeah, it's that Tom Cruise movie.
No. It's the speed with which things hit the ground, okay? We're gonna do this experiment. Okay, Zach, you grab this.
Okay.
And Carly, I want you to have this precious piece of paper here.
Okay.
All right, now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a race. We're gonna drop these two things at the same time, and I want you guys to guess, which one do you think will hit the ground first? You think you? Okay. He's very confident. What do you think?
I'm confident. We
Okay,
can see what happens.
Good. All right, let's try it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, drop. Oh, Carly, you got smoked.
I know. What happened?
Well, what happened to your piece of paper as it was going down? What was it doing?
It was kind of fluttering down.
Yeah, why do you think it was doing that?
Maybe the air going against it.
It was interacting with the air, exactly. When this falls down, see how big it is? It has to push all this air out of the way. And what about your tennis ball?
It just went straight down.
It didn't have to push as much air out of the way.
That's right.
So the air resistance made this one have less terminal velocity than that one.
Huh.
Okay, now we're gonna even it up. All right,
Okay.
Carly, I want you to take this piece of paper, crumple it up as much
Okay.
as you can. Make it really, really tiny. Make the air resistance as little as possible.
Can you see that?
Oh, you think you're gonna win this time, Carly?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
Let's try it again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, drop. Oh, now they fell at almost the same rate this time, right? It was a lot closer.
I think he dropped a little early.
I think he did too. He's very competitive. Okay, now yours fell almost the same rate as his because it has less air resistance. So air resistance has something to do with terminal velocity. Now here's one more thing. You like baseball, Carly?
I do.
Okay, good. I'll hold that. Now, what do you think's going to happen?
Oh, I'm winning this one.
Okay, is that weigh a little bit more than the tennis ball?
Check for me.
Yeah. Okay, you think things are heavier or going to fall faster?
Definitely.
All right, well, let's take a look. Let's see. All
All
right,
right, yeah,
ready?
let's go.
1, 2, 3, drop. They fell at the same terminal velocity. Look at that. Now, why do you think that is?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, it's true. This one's got more mass, so gravity pulls on it more. Gravity pulls on heavier things more. But it's also harder to get something that's heavy going. And let me explain. What if you had a really big dresser and then you had a little tiny toy car? Which one would be harder to get up to speed?
The heavy dresser.
The heavy dresser. Exactly the same thing with gravity. Gravity's got to work a little bit harder to get this one up to speed, even though it naturally pulls on this one more. So those two things counterbalance. And so what that means is that all things, if you don't have air resistance in play, all things, no matter what their mass, are going to have the same terminal velocity.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
How about that?
Well, all right, kids, stick around because coming up, we've got more exciting experiments for you right here in the lab, right after this.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. You find yourself in a world where murmur and speech are unheard of. A world where the silvery sound of a voice is non-existent. In a mere few minutes, we will enter such a place. A place that can only exist inside the vague dimension.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Professor John Beggs from the Physics Department here at IU. Professor, why don't you take us right into our next experiment?
Take it away.
Okay, this next experiment is called centripetal force. And centripetal means toward the center, and force is just something that will cause something to accelerate. So we're going to do this. You see this bucket here?
Yeah.
This bucket is filled with water.
Oh.
Okay, Zach.
Very
now,
much so.
I got a challenge for you. I want you to figure out a way to take this bucket and turn it over your head, upside down, without getting water on your head. Can you think of a way to do that?
You want me to take this bucket, put it over my head, but upside down?
And not get wet. Yeah.
Oh, no, you take this. You
You're
can
the
do
man,
this.
Zach. You're the man. Carly, can you help him out? Give him any suggestions?
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe if you like spin it around.
Spin it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah?
a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try it.
I mean, I'm
Try
gonna
it.
stay way over
okay,
here.
all right,
but, you
all right.
know.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
All right.
You can do it.
Oh, yep.
All
Wow.
right,
Wow.
Zach, you did
Hey,
it.
right
Excellent. You
down,
didn't
yeah.
get wet.
No,
You
I
heard it
did
dry. Very good. Very good.
All right.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's
So,
crazy.
let me see if I can explain how that works. And it's called centripetal force, as I told you about. So I'm going to draw a little diagram here over on the board. So here's a bucket like this, and we got water in it. And then we've got a handle, and then that's your arm. Okay? So your arm is holding the bucket, and you move it around in a circle. And your arm is pulling it in toward the center. Even when the bucket was over here, like this, and even when the bucket was up here, like this, your arm was pulling it toward the center, always pulling it toward the center. Now, why didn't that let the water fall down? Well, let me explain. What if you're in a car, and the car is at a stoplight, and then suddenly the light turns green, and you hit the gas, and the car pulls you forward very fast? What happens to your head?
It goes
Goes
back.
back.
It goes back, exactly. It wanted to stay where it was. That's something called inertia. So even though the car was pulling you forward, your head kind of went backwards. So what do we got here? Arm is pulling it forward. The bucket, the water in the bucket was kind of going in the other direction, right?
My
It kind of
head's
wanted
like
to
a
go
bucket
down.
of water.
Yeah, a little bit.
Makes
so
sense.
Exactly like
that's
that.
what kept the water stuck to the lid of the bucket. Centripetal force. You didn't get wet.
That's crazy.
Very cool. I mean, I'm a little disappointed because I was fully expecting and kind of hoping for you to get a little bit of a shower out here, but you know, very cool. But anyway, we're going to take another quick break. Don't go anywhere because we've got one more great experiment coming up right after this.
Stick around.
The place, a living room. The time, unknown. What you're seeing is no failure to communicate, but a way of doing so with nothing more than the power of your mind in a box. Inside this box lies the weight of human connection, a joke, a problem, a story. It's all shared by the transfer of thought into this visceral object. Without it, you become an outcast, only able to re-enter society by means of a cord. A society so fragile that the loss or gain of a box is the determinant between life-draining depression or happiness. Such a place can only exist in the vague dimension.
Welcome back to the Fun Lab. I'm Zach.
And I'm Carly, and we're back with Professor John Beggs with one more fun experiment.
That's right. All right, Professor, what's our last experiment going to be?
Okay, this last experiment is called the Bernoulli bag experiment, and it's going to be a race.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is take these two bags over here on the table.
Okay.
And if you do this at home, kids, be careful. You got to be sure that you have an adult around. We don't want you to get suffocated or anything. So you take these bags and make sure that all the air is out of them, and we're going to have a race to see who can blow up their bag the fastest. But we're going to do it two different ways. Now, Zach, what I want you to do is take your mouth and put it right to the opening of the bag, and when I say go, you just blow as hard as you can, as many breaths of air into it. Now,
Okay.
Carly, you're going to do it a little differently. I want you to take your mouth and put it a little bit away from the hole, so that when you blow in, there's going to be some distance there.
Okay.
Okay?
Are these clean?
I don't know. I hope
yours.
so. All right. Who do you think's going to win?
I mean, I'm taller, better lungs, you know.
We'll see. We'll see.
Science might be on someone else's side. Okay,
All
ready?
right, here we go.
1, 2, 3, go. Oh, Zach, what's happening? Oh, Carly won.
Not even winded.
All right. No steroids here, I tell you. Oh, man. Okay, so now what do you think happened? You got any idea?
I
think
won.
mine had a hole.
That's all you care about. Okay. Have you ever heard of a guy named Bernoulli?
Yes, I have. He makes pasta.
No, that was his brother.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
this guy had something to do with physics and mathematics. And what he did is he studied the flow of air and fluids. And here's what he said. He said that when air flows really fast, its pressure drops. And so what happened when Carly blew the bag is she caused the air to go fast through the hole, it caused the pressure to drop, and that brought air from outside to come in with her breath of air. So for every one breath of air she blew into the bag, many other breaths came in with it. But when you did it,
Yeah.
every breath of your air, you couldn't let any other air in because your lips were sealed around the edge. So Bernoulli's principle let her blow up the bag faster.
Winning with science.
Yeah. And Bernoulli's principle also lets airplanes fly.
Oh,
really
very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
cool. Well, that about wraps up the show for this week. It's been an awesome day in the Fun Lab, and I hope you all learned something great just like we did. Show your friends and family.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot. Thank you to our guest, Professor John Beggs. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for being
sure.
with us.
Thanks,
Professor.
Glad to be here.
Stop
Yeah.
by.
And for everybody at home, have a great time with your experiments, but remember, be safe and have fun.
Thanks for stopping by. See you next week.